भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंद रे। भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंद रे। दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे, तरहु ये भव सिंधुरे। अभय चरणारविंद रे। सीतातप बत बरीसना ए दीन जामिनी जागिरे। सीतातप बत बरीसना ए दीन जामिनी जागिरे। विफल से विनु कृपण दुर्जन, विफल से विनु कृपण दुर्जन, चपल सुकलभ लागिरे। अभय चरणारविंद रे। एदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन, एते के अचे पर तीतिरे। एदन यौवन पुत्र परिजन, एते के अचे पर तीतिरे। कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, कमल दल जल जीवन तलमल, कबज अहु हरिपद नीति रे। अभय चरणारविंद रे। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन, पाद सेवन दास्य रे। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन, पाद सेवन दास्य रे। पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन, पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन, गोविंद दास अभिलाष्य रे। अभय चरणारविंद रे। भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदनंदन अभय चरणारविंद रे। अभय चरणारविंद रे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद प्रभुपद, जय प्रभुपद, जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव। नित्य गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, नित्य गौर हरि बोल। So translation goes like this. O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of the saintly persons. Both in the day and at night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering life at a drop of water on the lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Dasa to engage himself in the nine processes of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of the Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him, and offering prayers to him. Serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Lord's servant, the Supreme Servant, Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with the flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Hare Krishna. So earlier, when we had heard about Prahlad Maharaj was explaining about Navvidha Bhakti, Shravana Kirtana, Smarana Vandana, Pada Sevana, Dasya, Atma Niveda. These are the 9 different processes where Prahlad Maharaj was explaining about, and his grandson Bali Maharaj is a personified of Atma Nivedana, sacrifice for everything. And he mentions about what assurance of real happiness is there in all one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members in this 22nd chapter today, which we are going to read, which is Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाग्रये। नमो ब्रह्मण्याय देवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातं तं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं। श्री परमानंद श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थां ततोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुंडरीकाक्षा सा बाह्यभ्यन्तरं सुखे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna Brahmananda Mataji, thank you so much for giving your association. Hare Krishna Shilpa Mataji, thank you for scheduling this session. Hare Krishna Lilananda Prabhu for giving me this opportunity to talk about.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
So I feel very fortunate to have your association and in reading Srimad Bhagavatam in this auspicious month of Kartik. Thank you so much. This is this session is for my personal purification. So today I was given the topic of Bali Maharaj surrenders to the life, surrenders his life. Though I do not know how to surrender, I'm in the I'm in the process of surrender. So this serves as an eye opening for me. What are the facilities? So what are the actions that to be taken to surrender? We all have to follow these Mahajans. We cannot imitate them. Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, they are among the 12 Mahajans. Mahajana Yena Gasagat Pantaha. Just we can follow in their footsteps. That is all we can do. And we'll see how this can be done, especially in this Kali Yuga. So, see, Bhagavad Gita, we all know, concludes with Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Sarva Papevyo Mokshyasmi Masuchaha. Where Krishna says, surrender unto me and I shall deliver you from this sinful life. In one sense, we can, when we see, when ordinary people, pious people will think sinful surrendering means reducing the sins, getting the punya, so that they can go to the heavenly planet. So Krishna says, Ye yatamam prapadyate. Just as how much we surrender to Krishna, to that extent, Krishna removes our sins. So for the pious people, yes, maybe the sinful life gets reduced and the punya gets increased and they go to the highest plans. But this verse is different for a devotee. He surrenders everything. Atma Nivedanam. So what is Atma Nivedanam? It is surrendering your mind, body, and words. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. So mind, body, and words. So how can we surrender our mind? Just like as Govinda Das was saying, Bhajahurevana Sri Nandananda. Always remember the glories of Krishna. Otherwise, it is impossible to control the mind. Many great poets talk to their mind and says, please, oh mind, please remember the lotus feet of Krishna. Otherwise, there is no question of going back to Godhead. So, by constantly remembering Krishna, how we surrender our mind. We surrender our words by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and speak glorifying Krishna, which gives purification. And the body, the activities which we do, the physical body also we can. So, Bali Maharaj is epitome of all these three, Atma Nivedanam. He surrenders not only his material life, but he surrenders his whole existence. That is what is explained in chapter number 22. So just we'll read the first sloka. Shri Sukhamuvacha Evam Viprakarto Rajan Balir Bhagavat Asuraha Vidyamano Avinatma Pratyavakamam Vachaha. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So the translation says, Sukadeva Goswami said, O King, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead was superficially seen to have acted mischievously towards Bali Maharaj was fixed in his determination. Considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise, he spoken as follows. We don't have purport for this. So, for the record purpose, let us revise what has happened so far in this. So, this is after Prahlad Maharaj, it is a long session of Bali Maharaj happening in this. So, first, Bali Maharaj conquers the heavenly planets. After performing the Vishwajit Yajna, Bali received divine weapons, armors, and different chariots. Empowered by the blessings from his Guru Sukracharya and grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, he attacked Indra. Brihaspati advised the demigods to withdraw since Bali was empowered by the Brahmanas. As a result, Bali captured Indra's kingdom and enjoyed heavenly opulence by performing 100 Ashwamedha. He was performing 100, determined to perform 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas He has completed 99 and he was doing the 100th Ashwamedha Yajna. After which, Aditi, the mother of the demigods, lamented the loss of the position of the Devatas. So Devatas were defeated and they lost their position, and Aditi was very unhappy because Devatas lost their position. So Aditi's husband, Kashyapa Muni, instructs her on the self-realization. But seeing her dissatisfaction, he advised a worship of Lord Vasudeva. He taught her the Payavrata, where we have said how to do the Payavrata worship, work, and Aditi does to please the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So anything which we do, it should be pleasing to the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is our ultimate goal. Then Aditi performed the Payavrata and the Lord Vishnu appeared before her, pleased with her devotion. She prayed to him, then Lord agreed to become her son and to restore the demigod's position. It is on the duty on the boon given to the Aditi. Krishna appears as Vamanadeva. Through Kashyapa, Lord entered Aditi's home and Brahma glorified the Lord with it. This is what we have seen in the last three. And Lord Vamana appears as a Lord appeared in full opulence, but assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana. So Jayadeva Goswami sings, Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana Padanaka Nira Janita Jana Pavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. The same Keshava has appeared in the form of a Vamana. Vamana actually means the dwarf. So in this incarnation, so there are many names for Krishna, especially when it comes in the Vamana Rupa. He has Vamana. Vamana means the dwarf. There is Trivikrama. Trivikrama means Krama means the steps. He conquered entire existence in 3 steps. So and Upendra. So he is higher than the Indra. So these are the various names which Krishna gets in the Vamana Rupa. His birth became auspicious across all the worlds. After his sacred third ceremony, he went to the Bali sacrifice arena to get the Bali Maharaj was giving donations. So this brahmachari Vamana goes to Bali sacrifice to get something. So Bali honored him and washed his lotus feet, placing the water on his head. So Vamana asked, requested 3 pieces of land from Bali. I don't need anything. I am a brahmachari. I don't have any attachments for this material thing. Just I require 3 things. So 3 lands which my feet holds, that is sufficient for me. Though the request seemed insignificant, Sukracharya recognized. So Sukracharya recognized that Vamanadeva is nothing but Vishnu and warned Bali not to comply. He advised Bali, oh, this Vamana is Vishnu. So he has come to take everything from you. Don't give anything. So Sukracharya was worried about his remuneration. So if Bali Maharaj gives everything to Vamanadeva, then what will he gets? So he argued in many ways that one could refuse promises under certain conditions, but Bali hesitated. So Sukracharya gives all the possible reasons, valid reasons for Bali Maharaj not to give anything charity to Vamanadeva. So Bali reflected deeply and chose to keep his word. He disregarded his spiritual master Sukracharya to keep his word, valuing truth and reputation above his material positions. So this is what so far we have seen. So Bali Maharaj ultimately surrenders the entire universe. So when Bali Maharaj accepts that he is going to give charity, to Vamana Deva. So Vamana assumes a big form. He immediately changes his form. So he becomes very big, gigantic. In two steps, he conquers everything. So Acharya here in this explains about the gigantic form of the Vamana Deva. So in Sanskrit, so when we all have some Sanskrit courses in our bit and intermediate or something. So we have vowels, right? So consonants, vowels, etc. For example, you see a and a, dirgama. So small a and big a, e. So a becomes big and it becomes a. But Sanskrit says the small matras are called rasvas. The small matras are called rasva and big matras are called lagu. Jiva Goswami, acharyas from our disciplic succession, he found what is this rasva and lagu. So small matra and big matras are okay. Rasvas and the ragu, they don't seem to connect to Krishna. He didn't feel any Krishna consciousness in that. So in his writings, so Rupa Goswami changed everything. He didn't call Rasva and Lagu. He called it Vamana and Trivikrama. So small matras are called Vamana and big matras are called Trivikrama. So actually, if you see the words, it has not changed the form. It has increased the form. The actual form remains, but it becomes the big. A becomes A. E becomes E. So Vamana becomes Trivikrama. So in the Rupa Goswami works, you can see small matra says Vamana and big matra says Trivikrama. So similarly, Krishna has become from Vamana to Trivikrama. And he also says in others various shastras, it is also mentioned Satsangat Purvo Vamano Guru. Satsangat Purvo Vamano Guru. So what does it mean? It means before Satsanga, even if he is short. So what is short means? We are short in knowledge, short in bhakti, short in surrender. We are short in lacking everything. We have shortfall in everything. So just we go back to the when you connected before Krishna consciousness. In childhood, we see ourselves and we see us and now. So what we see so much transformation, right? So we know about Krishna consciousness. We are doing some services. We are chanting the holy names and doing a lot of things. How did it come? It came because we have associated with pure devotees. Without satsanga, we would not have been like this, isn't it? So satsangat purvo vamano api guruhu. So before satsang we are short, but after satsang, when we are in a satsang, even a short person, even a person who has no qualification can become a guru. This is power of association. And Acharyas explain that. So Krishna has come in this small dwarf incarnation as Vamana. Because of his association with a great devotee like Bali Maharaj, he became Trivikrama and he became a guru. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Of course, he is not a guru like all others. He is Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So Vamana has become Trivikrama, a big guru, by the association of a devotee like Bali Maharaj. So we all have to learn. Without the power of association, we are nothing. We think I can do all these things. I can read Bhagavatam. I can speak Bhagavatam. I chant so many rounds. We can do so many sevas. This cannot be possible without the association of a pure devotees. We have to follow the Mahajans. Even before even Krishna source, even he gets the association of the devotee and becomes a guru. Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. So we can see in our parampara so many devotees who were earlier hippies. They do not know anything. They do not have any regulations. By the association of the pure devotee like A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, what a gems they became. Isn't it? They became gurus, Diksha gurus. And not to speak of Diksha gurus, we can see so many Shiksha gurus. How did they become Shiksha gurus? They got the association of a pure devotees. Serving the pure devotees makes a one Vamana from a guru. So, and Vamana did not find the third step. Where does he keep the third step? There is no space for the third step. So Bali Maharaj was defeated. So there is a transcendental competition happening in the spiritual world. There is a devotee wants to glorify Krishna and Krishna wants to glorify the devotees. Sometimes this glorification comes by defeating also. So here Vamana, Krishna defeated Bali Maharaj, not to show that he is great. He wanted to prove that Bali Maharaj is great. How it is great is what is this 22nd chapter is going to explain. And we see so many examples. So Bali Maharaj was defeated by Vamana, but later Bali defeats Vamanadev. So in this chapter we can see how Bali Maharaj defeated Vamanadev. How it is possible? This is the principle of surrender. So we do not want to make Krishna small. So we devotees want to defeat Krishna by binding Krishna with love. This is the month of Damodar Mas. So we see how Lord gets binded by the rope of Yashoda. This is not a physical rope which we can bind. It is a rope of love which Yashoda Mai has bound Krishna. This is the surrender. Yashoda Mai surrendered to Krishna. Similarly, here Bali Maharaj surrendered to Krishna and bound Krishna with his love of ropes, and Vamana was defeated. So this is what a brief introduction of this whole chapter. In the text number 2, if you can see, let me share it for you. From here, let me share. Okay. So text number 2, Bali Maharaj said, "O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your third step, lotus footstep on my head." So what is Bali Maharaj saying here? So this is the response of a devotee. So even earlier it was mentioned that Bali Maharaj was treated brutally. He was bound. So because there was no third step given to Vamanadev, so Vamanadev defeats Bali Maharaj, ties him to the ropes of Varunadeva and humiliates him before his own clan or demons. So naturally, Bali Maharaj would have been thinking, what is shame for me? So I myself may think, before if I am defeated before my people, we feel low, right? We feel some kind I'm defeated. We feel morose. I am defeated before my own people. So similarly, so this is not an ordinary humility which Bali Maharaj, even after getting such a humility from the Vamanadeva, Bali Maharaj spoke with an undisturbed mind. He was speaking with a clarity of mind. That is what is offering mind to Krishna. So our mind should not be disturbed by the external consequences. So when there is an external situations happening in our life, our mind should not be disturbed. Our mind should be stable. How does it happen? Only when we surrender to Krishna. Our mind gets surrendered to Krishna when we remember of Krishna. Because Bali Maharaj was always remembered in Krishna, his mind was stable, and with the stability of mind, even though he was humiliated, he was speaking these words. What is he speaking? So I cannot allow my promise to be false. I do not want it to be false. And please, therefore, place your lotus feet on my head. So ultimately, he is saying, you take my head. So Bali Maharaj was saying that you have taken everything. You've taken my possessions, you have taken all the Brahmandas, but you have left one thing, which is you have not taken me. Now you take me. So giving the head means giving oneself to the lotus feet of Krishna. So one may get a doubt. How can Bali's head be worth enough for the third step? So when I was in school days, and I was used to see these movies where this incident of Vamana Balidev is happening, I was thinking, how can Vaman Dev step on the Bali Maharaj to crush him under the earth? I had a doubt like that. What is it? So already everything is conquered. Nothing is left to be conquered by Vamanadev. In his 2 steps, he has conquered everything. I had a doubt. What is the third step? How can the third step be the head of the Bali Maharaj? What does this mean? At that time, there was no one could nowhere to go and no place to see. But by fortunate association of this Satsang, Gachibowli Satsang, and other various, and the purpose of A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, today I could understand what does this mean. So what is putting the head on the Bali Maharaj's head means? It means possessor of wealth is considered far greater than the wealth. So in the 2 steps, Vamanadev conquered entire wealth of Bali Maharaj. But this is not the highest. The possessing the possessor of wealth is the highest. If you see the life of interaction between Giriraj Maharaj, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. So when Giriraj Maharaj started associating with Srila Prabhupada, he took, I think, Brahmachari ashram. Giriraj Maharaj comes from a very opulent family, very rich family. His father is very stinkingly rich. And Giriraj Maharaj became a brahmachari, a full-time devotee in Srila Prabhupada. His father, Giriraj Maharaj's father, comes to Srila Prabhupada. He gives a blank check. He gives a blank check to Srila Prabhupada. He says, you take any amount of donation. Take donation. This is what you want, right? Take this donation, blank check, write any amount, and give my son back. And what did Srila Prabhupada say? I do not want your son as well. You take your check and you take your son back. I don't want anything. And ultimately, because of that, and Giriraj Maharaj stayed with Srila Prabhupada. If it is outside Sampradaya people gets the same thing like this, what would they do? They take the blank check and give the person back. But Srila Prabhupada did not do that. Srila Prabhupada knew that it is not the wealth which he wanted. Of course, wealth is required for all the construction. No more than the wealth, Srila Prabhupada wanted Giriraj Maharaj to stay. So, possession of the possession is more important. It's not the wealth. Similarly, so many people, we all go to Tirupati. We all give donations. I have given so many donations, right? So I have given golden kiritam to Balaji. I have given so many things. Is Venkateswara Swami looking for that? He is Lakshmipati. He has everything. Bhagavan, he has all the Aishwarya. What can we give to him? What amount of money, if we give, Krishna becomes happy. Krishna is interested in us more than our money. More than our money. So we all hear in the various classes, right? Krishna doesn't see how much you have given. Krishna sees how much you have kept back. That means we have kept ourselves back. It is not that we have to give everything. Of course, that is the highest. But as a grihasthas, we have certain things to be done. We have to accumulate some better wealth, but it should be Krishna conscious wealth. But ultimately, we have to give ourselves to Krishna. That is what Krishna is saying. You are giving money, but you are not giving yourself. Sarva dharmana paritejya. Give yourself. Give your duties to Krishna. Make our duties Krishna conscious. That is what Krishna is saying. That is what Srila Prabhupada is explaining over here. Bali Maharaj could understand the pretense of the Lord Vamanadeva, who had taken the side of demigods and come before him as beggar. Although the Lord's purpose was to cheat him, Bali Maharaj took pleasure in understanding how the Lord will cheat. So why Bali Maharaj understood why Vamandev has come to cheat him. Not only to cheat him, Bali Maharaj wants to know how does he cheat me? How can he cheat his devotees? I want to see. That is the reason Vamandev has come. It is said that God is good, and this is a fact. Whether he cheats or rewards, he is always good. Bali Maharaj therefore addressed him as Uttama Shloka. So Bali Maharaj in this shloka addresses as Uttama Shloka. What does Uttama Shloka mean? Lord will become famous for the following reasons. It is Lord, it should be Lord should be focused. Lord should be glorified. How does Lord become glorified in this? So he is coming in the pretense of begging. So he shows that we can see that Lord is not interested in the wealth. Lord lacks lack of desire for brahmachari. He is free from the greed. From this incident, we all know understand. He is the wealthiest beggar. Though he is husband of goddess Lakshmi, he has come to beg. What is his begging? He is not begging for the wealth. He is begging for us to surrender. Krishna comes in this material world. Sambhavani yuge yuge. Why does he come? Why does he come? He is coming to take us all back to him. He's begging. Read Bhagavad Gita. Associate with my devotees. Mam namaskuru. Surrender unto me. This is what he is begging. When Krishna came in the form in the incarnation of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, he went door to door to beg, please chant the name of the Lord Hari. So Lord comes here to beg from the devotees so that we all surrender to him. He by this Uttama Shloka, it means he was cheating the Devatas. Why he is cheating the Devatas? So Bali Maharaj was saying, you gave Dharma Artha Kama to the Devatas, but you have not given the ultimate nectar of your lotus feet. So you have not given the lotus feet to all the Devatas. So you have cheated Devatas, but you have not cheated us. That later in the later slokas we will understand. Bali Maharaj took pleasure in understanding the Lord's purpose for glorifying Bali Maharaj. Because Krishna comes in this material world to glorify his devotees. Lord cannot allow his devotees' promise to go waste. Never Krishna makes his devotees promise to breaking. So what is the promise which Srila Prabhupada has given? When you chant the holy names, minimum 16 rounds, when you follow these 4 regulatory principles, when you cooperate with the devotees, help the devotees, even if we are not perfect, Srila Prabhupada will take us back to him. This is a promise which Srila Prabhupada has given. And we have to have faith in that after these incidents. But Krishna will never make Prabhupada's promise go fail. We have to follow our Parampara Acharyas. So this is what is explained in this sloka. So anyone would like to read text number 3?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. I will do. बिबेमिनाहं निरयात् पदाच्युतो नापाशबन्धाद्व्यसनात् दुरत्ययात् नैवार्तकृश्रात् भवतो विनिग्रहात् असाधुवादात् भृशम् उद्विजेयता. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I do not fear being deprived of all my possessions, living in hellish life, being arrested for poverty by the ropes of Varuna, or being punished by you as much as I fear defamation. Purport. Although Bali Maharaja fully surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he couldn't tolerate being defamed for cheating a Brahmana brahmachari. Being quite alert in regard to his reputation, he thought deeply about how to prevent being defamed. The Lord therefore gave him the good counsel to prevent defamation by offering his head. A Vaishnava does not fear any punishment. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati. Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 17th chapter, 28th shloka. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful recitation. So here Bali Maharaj was saying he was also afraid. So we are also afraid, right? With so many things. We are afraid of losing jobs. We are afraid of becoming poverty. We are afraid of losing our loved ones. We are also afraid of so many things. Here Bali Maharaj is also afraid of some things. Bali Maharaj is saying he is not afraid of living in hell. But we are also, I'm speaking about myself, but I am sure that I am afraid of hell. So we are hellish conditions, living in hell. He is afraid of falling from the position. He is not afraid of being arrested, suffering unbearable calamity, difficulties of poverty, being punished by the Lord. Please close your eyes and think, if any of these comes to us, are we afraid or not? If we are afraid, we are not surrendered. If we are not afraid, then only we are surrendered. Here, Bali Maharaj is saying he is not afraid of all these things, but he is afraid only of one thing, which is fear of defamation of cheating brahmachari. Brahmachari. Why? Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Ditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namaha. If you want to please Krishna, you have to please go and Brahmanas or Brahmacharis. If you are cheating Brahmacharis, Brahmanas, then we are displeasing Krishna. So everyone we are following the devotional life should all fear that we are not cheating devotees. Devotees are the Brahmanas. Here we are not talking about the caste Brahmanas, we are talking about Varnashrama Brahmanas, which are nothing but the devotees. So Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Don't cheat Vaishnavas. Don't do Vaishnava aparadha. If you do that, we don't have any other option. So we all have to fear from Vaishnava aparadha. So what happens? The Lord therefore gave him a good counsel to prevent defamation by offering his head. Lord has given the good counsel, surrender out your head. So what is the result of surrender? What happens after surrender? So Bali Maharaj defeated Vamana by surrendering. So it is not easy to surrender. It requires a lot of humility. So first surrender for all of us comes from the chanting of the holy names. When we start chanting the holy names, at least one round, then our process of surrender started. And what does it take us to surrender? Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Trinadapi Sun, humility. It is a humility that guides us to surrender. And with this humility, a devotee purchases Krishna. In so many instances, Krishna, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, he says, you have purchased me with your humility. Isn't it? So it takes humility. Bali Maharaj surrender shows his humility, and with that humility, he conquered Vamanadeva. He bound Vamanadeva through the love of God, through the love of ropes. So ultimately, Vamanadeva gives Sutalaloka, and Vamanadeva becomes a gatekeeper. Because of the surrender, Krishna became the gatekeeper of Bali Maharaj. This is the power of surrender. Then you might ask, why did Lord give Sutalaloka to him? Why not Indraloka? He should have given so many things. There are two reasons which Acharyas mentioned. The first is, in this Yuga, Indra was supposed to be the heaven. So he came as Vamanadeva to give all the riches to Indra. That was a promise given. So he did not give Indraloka to Bali Maharaj. So Indra was to be given. Second, Lord knows that Bali Maharaj is a devotee, and devotee doesn't want any positions, power, name, fame. Nadanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam, va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani, janmanishware, bhavatat bhakti rahitu kitvai. These all four are present in Indraloka. Dhanam is there, Janam is there, Striyas are there, everything is there, Kavis are there. But devotee doesn't want that. So devotee wants the lowest position. So by crushing Bali Maharaj to Sutalaloka, he shows that even devotee is ready to go to the hellish planets for the service of Krishna. Bali Maharaj wanted only the service of Krishna and nothing else. So he made Sutalaloka even opulent than the Indraloka, Swargaloka, and he himself became a gatekeeper. He left the Vaikuntha, he left the Lakshmi Devi, he left everything and stand there as gatekeeper. That shows how Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. He gives himself, Achyuta. So in the incarnation of Rama, he gives himself to Hanuman. He gives himself to gopis. I cannot prepay you anything. I give myself. Krishna becomes chariot driver to Arjuna. You see, every devotee in this are surrendered to Krishna. And what happened of the result? What is the result of surrender? We can purchase Krishna. Krishna becomes yours. Krishna se tomara. So, right? Oh, Vaishnava Thakura. That's what I was saying, right? We run after Vaishnava Thakura because this Thakura, Vaishnava Thakura, is the possessor of Krishna. And that's why we have to have gurus. We all have to take initiation from the gurus. So whatever guru you choose, you have to take initiation. So one day or the other, we have taken initiation and we all have to take initiation. What happens in initiation? So we take vows. No illicit sex, no gambling, no all this, right? We take certain vows. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, initiation is not just taking vows. It's not taking vows. Of course, we externally before the fire, sacrificial fire, we commit for that. But living up to the vows is most important. So saying all the four things for taking beat from Maharaj is not the whole and soul. Our responsibility doesn't close there. So after taking initiation, if you are not following the regulatory principle, we are not going go back to Godhead. So it is not the vows that take us to Krishna, it is the spirit which we take the vows. What is our consciousness behind our taking the vows? That takes us to Krishna. That is what His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was explaining. Being truthful attracts the Lord, and surrender is the actual truth. So we have to be truthful. Brahmana means being truthful. The absolute truth is the highest truth, and surrender is the main truth. And we have to surrender to the boss, surrender to the our Guru Maharaj. Anything that comes in this way should be neglected. Anya Abhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. Is it right? So anything comes in this hindering, we can neglect it. By example, Vibhishana neglected Ravana, his brother. Dijapatnis neglected their Brahmana husbands. They were supposed to offer the food to the sacrifice. But instead of that, before the offering it to the sacrificial arena, they gave to Krishna. So they neglected their husbands. Bali Maharaj had neglected his guru, Sukracharya. Prahlad Maharaj went against his father. So anything that comes in the process of surrender can be neglected. That's what Bali Maharaj was explaining over here. Anyone would like to read text number 4?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
I'll read.
Krishna Prabhu.
Shilpa Mataji. Yes, Padmavati, you are reading,
Yeah.
right?
Pumsam.
Okay.
So you can read the translation and purport.
Shall I read or Shilpa Mataji will read?
Padmavati,
Hello.
Go ahead.
please continue.
Go ahead, Mataji. Please
Okay,
read.
okay.
Only
Translation.
translation.
Okay. Although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher, they never punish their subordinate like this. But because you are the most worshipable Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. Purport. Punishment meted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepted by the devotee as the greatest mercy. Tatte anukampam susamikshamaano bhunjana evatma kirtam vipakam hridvag vapurbihi vidadan namaste iveta yo mukti padesa dayabhak. One who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, and who always offer obeisances to you, is certainly a bona fide candidate for liberation. Bhagavad Gita 10.14.8. A devotee knows that so-called punishment by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only his favor to correct his devotee and bring him to the right path. Therefore, the punishment awarded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be compared to even the greatest benefit awarded by one's material father, mother, brother, or friend.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much. So here, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was explaining that Lord's punishment is for our own spiritual benefit. So we all know that karma daiva netrana. Karma, anything goes, action and reaction comes under the sanction of the Supreme Personality of God. There is no doubt. Ultimately, the ultimate cause is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But before till we start surrendering to Krishna, we are under the control of the Maya Devi, Durga Devi. So we had done Navaratri. Navaratri has finished. So we are under, till the time, we are under the jurisdiction of Maya Devi. Once when you start surrendering, we are under the account of Krishna. Maya doesn't hold our karmas. So when Lord punishes us, it is not so, it's not an ordinary thing. It's an extraordinary thing happening in our life. So even we think that coming into the devotional life, our problems get solved. No, it doesn't get solved. Our problems will never solve. It sometimes it may even get worse also. But we have to understand that this is not an ordinary thing happening in our life. It's not an karma happening. Because of course, devotee thinks that it's my own karma. I should have been punished more. How does that consciousness come? If you don't understand that, it is a mercy of Krishna through the punishment happening. It's a mercy of Krishna coming. So our karma is completely burned, almost getting burned. Sometimes Krishna gives a token also. Sometimes when we deviate from our path, Krishna sends a token of karma. And then we get the pinch and we come back to the bhakti path again. So this is not an ordinary thing. It's an extraordinary event happening in the devotee's life that he faces struggles. Krishna knows what you need and he gives that. We may go to Devatas and ask anything. Devatas will give you, no doubt. Of course, it is sanction as well. But when you go to Krishna, he doesn't give you ordinary things. He doesn't give you what you need. Because he is our supreme well-wisher, he is our father. Aham bija pradapita. Father knows what should be given to a son or a daughter. He gives just that. Sometimes he gives, sometimes he takes. So Bali was put into such a worst predicament, and Bali was proud of to be defeated. You can see the Bali by Bali Maharaj's words. It is your message that I got this punishment. So Lord might say, but I am famous for helping the Devatas. So we may get a doubt that Krishna comes here only for saving his devotees, but he is not coming for the demons. He is partial to the demigods, right? So you may think that this is happening because we think like that. Bali Maharaj is also clarifying in the next verse. But you are not coming only for for the devatas. You are coming for the welfare of the demons as well. So in this verse, you can see Takteno Kampan Susamikshmano. So as a devotee, we have to understand that Krishna is working on us. So we have to let Krishna's plan work for all of us. We have to suffer this pain, and one day you are all going back to Godhead. Ultimately, at the end, we are not going to get anything positive out of this material world. We are not going to get anything. What good is there in this material world except for the Lord's paraphernalia? If you remove this Lord's paraphernalia, everything is a waste of time. That is what is explained in the later verses of the by Bali Maharaj. The only thing we have to understand is this devotee association is a treasure what you got. In this process, we may be stripped of every wealth, name, fame, etc. But we have to let Krishna work on us. That is what he is going to explain over here. Text number 5. Anyone would like to read? Yes, Shilpa Mataji, you want.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'll read. Vamnunamanusaranam na paroksha paramo guru yononekamādhānnam vipransha chakshuradishataha. Translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Since your lordship is indirectly the greatest well-wisher of us demons, you act for our best welfare by posing as if our enemy. Because demons, like us, always aspire for a position of false prestige, by chastising us, you give us the eyes by which to see the right path. But Bali Maharaj considered the Supreme Personality of Godhead a better friend to the demons than to the demigods. In the material world, the more one gets material possessions, the more he becomes blind to spiritual life. The demigods are devotees of Lord for the sake of material possessions, but although the demons apparently do not have the Supreme Personality of Godhead on their side, he always acts as their well-wisher by depriving them of their possessions of false prestige. By false prestige, one is misguided, so the Supreme Lord takes away their position of the false prestige as a special favor. Hari Bol.
See the consciousness of Bali Maharaj over here. Bali Maharaj considers Supreme Personality of Godhead a better friend to the demons than the demigods. See here, what is happening? Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the side of demigods, opposite to the demon, and Bali Maharaj is saying, you are friend of demons. So Bali Maharaj is considering favor to demons is greater than the devatas. How is it possible? So as an ordinary person, if you think, it is not possible. He is favoring the devatas, getting all the wealth from the Bali Maharaj. How it is possible that the demons are more favored than the devatas? So here Bali Maharaj is explaining, in the material world, more one gets material possessions, the more he becomes blinded by to the spiritual life. Bhogeshwara prashiktanam taya patra chetasam. Isn't it? Vyavasayaknavagudi na samadha vidya. If you have Bhogeshwaryas, we are not going to get this Krishna consciousness. It is not possible. So the demigods are the devotees of the Lord for the sake of material positions only. So all the devatas are the devotees only for material. So we all went to temples for all material positions, right? I want this. I want to get married. I want good children. I want promotions. I want this. I want that. So giving material power and wealth to the devatas make them blind to the spiritual life. If you get material possessions, we are going to get blinded by it, blinded by the positions. But taking away our wealth, you gave us the eyes of knowledge. Bali Maharaj is saying, by taking this wealth, you have given us Jnana Chakshuhu. So you are favoring us. So you are, oh my Jnana Timirandasya. How can this Timirandasya goes? Sometimes our material positions should be stripped off. And that is what Krishna is doing to the Bali Maharaj and the demons. So generally we think that we say Krishna's mercy, 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 mercy. We'll talk about mercy. What does our mercy mean? According to us, mercy means anything that favors us. If it is favorable to me, it is merciful. Krishna is so favorable to me, I got so many followers. Krishna is so favorable to me, I got promotions. Krishna is so favorable to me, I got this. Is it the mercy? Of course, one way you can say it is a mercy. But ultimate mercy sometimes comes by removing also. If you see the life of Pandavas, what did they get? Vanaprastha. All Vana. Isn't it? They got all the, they did not get the kingdom. But still they are, so he's saying it's Krishna's mercy. So sometimes Krishna sees the future. We don't see the future. What is lying ahead of us? But Krishna sees our future and awards to us right now. So we get misguided. So I don't give to my devotee. Sometimes Krishna's mercy comes in the form of chastisement. Just like our parents chastises us, right? Because of our because if our parents chastise us, we are in this spiritual life. We are in the good life. Today's world, parents are not chastising properly the children. That's why children are not listening to their parents. So chastisement is good. So what we have to do? What action items should I take? Align our desires in line with Krishna desires. So Krishna's desires are more important than my desires. Krishna's mercy can come in the form of chastisement. Example, example is Chaitanya Prabhu's dealing with Prataprudra. So he did not accept Prataprudra, right? So in one of the verses, he even says, Chichi. Literally, if you see that, the incident, Chaitanya Prabhu says, Chichi. So Prataprudra is the king of Orissa. He has everything at his disposal. And what is this sannyasi doing? Calling Chichi. Then what is Prataprudra doing? He is mopping the Radha, isn't it? By that humility, Prataprudra concurred Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the water consciousness which we have to carry. So in the interest of time, I'll go a little bit fast forward in this. If anyone would like to read 6, 7.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Saraswati Mataji, isn't it?
Continue, Mataji.
Mataji, you read next one, I will read.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yasmin vairānubandena vyudena vibhude taraha bahavo lebhire siddhim yamu haikanta yoginaha tenaham nigrihitosmi bhavata bhuri karmana baddhascha varunai pashair nati vridena cha Vyate. Translation. Many demons who were continuously inimical toward you finally achieved the perfection of great mystic yogis. Your lordship can perform one work to serve many purposes, and consequently, although you have punished me in many ways, I do not feel ashamed of having been arrested by the ropes of Varuna, nor do I feel aggrieved. Purport. Bali Maharaja appreciated the Lord's mercy not only upon him but upon many other demons. Because this mercy is liberally distributed, the Supreme Lord is called all merciful. Bali Maharaja was indeed a fully surrendered devotee, but even some demons who were not at all devotees but merely enemies of the Lord attained the same exalted position achieved by many mystic yogis. Thus, Bali Maharaja could understand that the Lord had some hidden purpose in punishing him. Consequently, he was neither unhappy nor ashamed because of the awkward position in which he had been put by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So here you can through the Bali Maharaj's words, you can understand that many demons achieved the perfection. See, even we can see Bali Maharaj was indeed a fully surrendered devotee, but even some demons who were not at all devotees, but merely enemies of the Lord, attained the same exalted position achieved by many mystic yogis. So by they got the mystic. So many people you can see they go to the Himalayas, do tapasyas for all these Ashtasiddhis, Anima, Lagima, all those things. But going against Krishna in the war, they got all the siddhis simply. So, didn't they favor? They get the favor? Yes. Of course, ye yatamam prapadite still holds. Still, the demons cannot get the love of Godhead. That is not possible. Until and unless we are surrendered to Krishna. We cannot say that I will become a demon, I go against Krishna, I will get the love of God. No, that is not possible. But even as a demon, we are also, even as demons, they get the highest benefit. So if everything is positive, Krishna shows gives mercy according to the level of surrender. So devatas will get certain things, the demons will get certain, devotees will get certain things. So Bali Maharaj could understand that Lord had some hidden purpose in this, as we see that he is a Mahajan and he knows what is a Krishna. So what being Mahajan means understanding Krishna's plan means that Krishna's plan is more important than my plan. We cannot, Krishna will not give you a schedule. I have come this material world, I'm going to give task. Krishna might give and might not give. But devotees understand that Krishna has come for a purpose. So Parikshit Maharaj's curse, isn't it? So he knows that Krishna wanted to show something through me. And we got this Bhagavatam. So these devotees put the Krishna's plan ahead, then that is called following a Mahajan means. He was neither unhappy nor ashamed. So in the later slokas, in the 8th and 9th slokas, Bali Maharaj explains about his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj. Hare Krishna Brahmanamati, you are supposed to read text number 8, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, I will
Yes,
read.
yes.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My grandfather Prahlad Maharaja is famous, being recognized by all your devotees. Although harassed in many ways by his father Hiranyakashipu, he still remained faithful, taking shelter at your lotus feet. Purport. A pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaja although harassed circumstantially in many ways, never gives up the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to take shelter of anyone else. A pure devotee never complains against the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A vivid example is Prahlad Maharaja. Examining the life of Prahlad Maharaja, we can see how severely he was harassed by his own father Hiranyakasipu. Yet he did not divert his attention from the Lord even to the smallest extent. Bal Maharaja, following in the footsteps of his grandfather Prahlad Maharaja, remained fixed in his devotion to the Lord despite the Lord's having punished him. Hare Krishna.
Continue to explain also, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. What is the use of this material body which automatically leaves its owner at the end of the life? And what is the use of all one's family members who are actually plunderers taking away money that is useful for the service of the Lord in spiritual opulence? What is the use of a wife? She is only the source of increasing material conditions. And what is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely wastes the valuable energy of one's lifetime. Purport. The Supreme Person of Godhead Krishna advises Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Raja. Give up all other varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. The common man does not appreciate such a statement by the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he thinks that during his lifetime, his family, society, country, body, and relatives are everything. Why should one give up any of them and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? But from the behavior of great personalities like Prahlad Maharaja and Bali Maharaja, we understand that surrendering to the Lord is the right action for an intelligent person. Prahlad Maharaja took shelter of Vishnu against the will of his father. Similarly, Bali Maharaja took shelter of Vamanadeva against the will of his spiritual master Sukracharya. And all the leading demons, people may be surprised that devotees like Prahlad Maharaja and Bali Maharaja could seek shelter of the side of the enemy, giving up the natural affinity for family. Yes, Prabhuji. For family, health, and home. In this connection, Bali Maharaja explains that the body, which is the center of all material activities, is also a foreign element. Even though we want to keep up the body fit and helpful to our activities, the body cannot continue eternally. Although I am the soul, which is eternal, after using the body for some time, I have to accept another body. Tata Dehantara Prapti. According to the laws of nature, unless I render some service with the body for advancement in devotional service, one should not use the body for any other purpose. One must know that if he uses the body for any other purpose, he is simply wasting time. For as soon as the time is ripe, the soul will automatically leave the body. We are very interested in society, friendship, and love, but what are they? Those in the garb of friends and relatives merely plunder the hard earned money of the bewildered soul. Everyone is affectionate towards his wife and is attached to her. But what is this wife? The wife is called Stri, which means one who expands the material condition. If a person lives without a wife, his material conditions are less extensive. As soon as one marries and is connected with a wife, his material necessities increase. Pumsaha striya maithuni bhavam etam Tayar Maitho Hrudaya Grantim Ahu Atograha Kshetra Sutapta Vittari Janasya Maho Yam Aham Ameti. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. Bhagavad Gita 5.58. Human life is meant for self-realization, not for increasing unwanted things. Actually, a wife increases unwanted things. One's lifetime, one's home, and everything one has, if not properly used in the service of the Lord, are all sources of material conditions of perpetual suffering under the threefold miseries, Adhyatmika, Adhibautika, and Adi Daivika. Unfortunately, there is no instruction in human society for education on this subject. People are kept in darkness about the goal of life, and thus there is a continuous struggle for existence. We speak of survival of the fittest, but no one survives, for no one is free under material conditions. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
The wonderful purpose 8 and 9.
Yeah, Prabhuji, everything is there in that. If you daily,
Yes.
if you read these two purposes, more than sufficient.
Yes, Swati. So more than sufficient, these two purposes are. So how Prahlad Maharaj tolerated all those tortures from the Hiranyakashipu was also explained over there. So we have to tolerate all the inconveniences which may come from our family members. Ultimately, we have to surrender to the will of Krishna. That is what text number 8 gives us. And text number 9 gives us all the material things. The first material thing which common man doesn't understand this. So I said the common man does not appreciate such a statement because he thinks that during his lifetime, his family, society, country, body, and relatives, isn't it? So that's what Govindasa was speaking. Yedana yabbana putra parijana. Yete ke ache parati. So what is the use of all these material things? So having these things is not bad, but having the material conception in these things is very bad. So why should I protect my country? Because this is a place of Vedas. That is what the consciousness should be. So everything we can relate to the spiritual. So materialism and spiritualism is not two different things. It is our conception. So if I link anything with Krishna, that is spiritual. If I don't link anything with Krishna, that is material. So entire purport is explaining about the material conception which an ordinary human people is possessing. So ordinary people cannot live these things. And what is the use of this material body? So Prabhupada says, intelligent person takes the right action, which is to surrender to the Krishna. That is what is intelligence, real intelligence. Surrender to Krishna is the real intelligence. And what is the use of this body? Even the body is a foreign element. Though we want to keep the body fit and helpful for our activities, the body will not continue. That doesn't kind of jata dehandra prapti dhiras tatranamurti. We are going to get new bodies. Every day we are getting a body, and after that also we get a body. What is the use of this body? So here in this purport also, actual use of body is also mentioned. I have to accept another body. One should not use the body for any other purpose. One must know that if he uses the body for any other purpose, he is simply wasting time. But as soon as the time is right, the soul will automatically leave the body. It should be used for advancement in the spiritual life. That's what Srila Prabhupada, that is surrender. That is what the meaning of surrender. So what is the use of family, friends, etc.? They are going to take our wealth. We are securing wealth for Krishna consciousness. So this property belongs to Krishna. But what happens? These family and friends take away all this Krishna's property. What is the use of them? What is the use of a wife? Everyone is affectionate towards the wife. So it is a material wife. What is the purpose of marriage? Today's marriage doesn't have any purpose. They don't know any purpose. It is simply a mere act of celebration. But what is the purpose of marriage? It is not sense gratification. In one of these lectures, Balgovind Prabhu was explaining. So there are 3 stages. Self-absorption, self-preservation, and self-realization. So marriage goes all through these stages. Of course, anything goes. Self-absorption means in the bodily conception of sense gratification. I want to enjoy my partner. This is self-absorption. Then comes to the second stage of self-preservation, where we accept husband and wife. Marriage happens to follow the Shastra, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So that is the purpose of marriage at the this one. But in the self-realization stage, we accept partner so that we can progress in our spiritual journey. Without the Grihastha is also a approved thing in our Varnashrama Dharma. But the purpose of the Grihastha Dharma is to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, work towards the same goal, then that becomes the proper marriage. Without that, it becomes a sense gratification. We bring the children to this world. Why do we bring the children to this world? To make other schools and colleges richer? Is it our goal? To bring a great doctor, bring an engineer? What are we doing? We are making other person richer. That's all. The ultimate, of course, we give the best education to our children and all these things. That is not a compromise. But the first education should be given is the spirituality. There is no other education higher than this spiritual education. The first education we have to give. Otherwise, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayane, Iha Samsare, Bahadustare. So we are taking this birth after the birth and birth, but this is a miserable life. So we have to take our dependence back to Godhead. So 10, 11, I will start reading. My grandfather, the best of all men, who achieved unlimited knowledge and was worshipable for everyone, here explaining about Prahlad Maharaj, was afraid of the common men in this world. Being fully convinced of the substantiality afforded by the shelter at your lotus feet, he took shelter of the lotus feet against the will of his father and demonic friends. He was explaining how Prahlad Maharaj was afraid of this common man in this world. Srila Prabhupada says, we are afraid of Maya, but we are not sufficiently afraid of. So we are to be afraid of this common man or Asat Sangha. Only by the providence have I been forcibly brought under your lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. Because of the illusion created by temporary opulence, people in general who live under material conditions, facing accidental death at every moment, do not understand that this life is temporary. So he is compassionate on the other people that they are not able to understand the temporary nature of this material world, seeking after this so-called material relationships. Only by providence I have been saved from that condition. You can see the gratitude of Bali Maharaj. So gratitude is not part of spirituality. Gratitude is spirituality. So gratitude is not part of, gratitude is spirituality. So we have to be grateful for whatever we are possessing in this world. We have nice eyes to hear, see, nice tongue to taste. We have so many possessions. But are we grateful to Krishna for that? So Bali Maharaj appreciated the actions of the spiritual Supreme Personality of Godhead, although all the members of the demonic family accept. So we have to appreciate the Supreme Personality of God, even though we are all struggling in our material life. That is what we have to learn from this. Actually, everyone should fear the so-called society, friendship, and love for which he works so hard day and night. What is the use? What is the use of all these things? So if you see the story of Ratnakar, who turned into the Valmiki by the association of Narada Muni. So Ratnakar goes to his, was killing the animals. And he goes, on the instruction of Narada Muni, he goes to his family members and asks his son, his mother, his wife, will you take responsibility of my actions? And the entire family rejected. It is your duty to protect us and you are doing it. Why are we bothered about that? We don't have any reactions from your actions. We don't take responsibility for whatever actions you're taking. What Ratnakar is doing, he was sustaining his own family members. But what happened? He understood the futility of this material world and he became Valmiki by chanting the divine names of Ram. Under the instruction of the spiritual master, when we chant the holy names, we understand the futility of this material world and we become progress in the spiritual journey. So accidental, even if a sincere devotee somehow falls down, the Lord corrects him and saves him from gliding down. So Lord comes also to save us. Sometimes when you accidentally fall, Lord comes and elevates us into the higher destination. So text number 12. Sukdev Goswami said, "O best of the Kurus, while Bali Maharaj was describing his fortunate position in this way, the most dear devotee of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj, appeared there, like the moon rising in the night time. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai." Then Bali Maharaj saw his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, the most fortunate personality, whose dark body resembled black ointment for the eyes. His tall, elegant figure was dressed in the yellow garments. He had long arms, and his beautiful eyes were like the petals of a lotus. He was very dear and pleasing to everyone. Being bound by the ropes of the Varuna, Bali Maharaj could have not offered befitting respect to Prahlad Maharaj, as he had done before. Rather, he simply offered respectful obeisances with his head, his eyes being inundated with the tears and his face lowered in his shame. Since Bali Maharaj has been arrested by Lord Vamanadeva, he was certainly to be considered an offender. Bali Maharaj seriously felt that he was an offender of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Certainly, Prahlad Maharaj would not like this. Therefore, Bali Maharaj was ashamed and hung his head. As a devotee, we should understand what faults we have. We should find faults within ourselves and less faults within the devotees. But we do differently. We find fault in the devotees and we see ourselves guilt. But what is Bali Maharaj saying? He's seeing fault himself. That is what a qualification of a devotee. When the great personality Prahlad Maharaj saw that the Supreme Lord was sitting there, surrounded and worshipped by his intimate associate like Sunanda, he was overwhelmed with tears of jubilation. Approaching the Lord and falling to the ground, he offered his obeisances to the Lord at his lotus feet. So, what is Prahlad Maharaj saying in this text number 16? Prahlad Maharaj said, "My Lord, it is your Lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of the post of the heavenly king. And now today it is you who have taken it away. I think you have acted with equal beauty in both ways. Because of his exalted position as the king of heaven was putting him in the darkness of ignorance, you have done him a very merciful favor by taking him all away." So here Prahlad Maharaj was explaining that you have given this wealth and now you have taken your wealth. What is the big deal? So you have not cheated Bali Maharaj. You have done the great job in the both. It is both merciful. It's beautiful. You have given some well, you have taken some well. So it is a special mercy or a special mercy of Krishna that he takes the opulence away. This is only to protect the devotee from illusion and pride, just like in the case of Pandavas. Text number 17. Material opulence is so bewildering that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to search for it. What happens because of that? We have to say, Bhogeshwari Prashiktanam. So even a self-controlled man, he stops him from realizing the self-realization. Our human life is for self-realization. When we have the wealth, attachment towards the wealth, all those things, our progress towards spirituality, self-realization, shut down. So that's what he's saying. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, the Lord of the Universe, can see everything by his will. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances of him. So here Acharyas explained that the giver can take back. So Krishna has given, and Krishna can take it. He has the rights to do that. So you have no fault in taking back what you have given. That is what Prahlad Maharaj is explaining. So here you can see the example of Arjuna. So after the entire war is finished, when the Krishna is going to leave this material world, he took the power of Gandiva, right? Who gave the power of Gandiva? It is Krishna who has given the Arjuna the Gandiva power. And after that, Arjuna could not defeat even an ordinary dacoits. So what happened? The power of Gandiva is taken by Krishna. Krishna gave it and Krishna took it. So I think Bhakti Raghaswami Maharaj was explaining about how his leg was amputated to a small child. Krishna gave it and Krishna took it. So such a wonderful way, right? Simple way to understand. Sukadeva Goswami continued, "O King Parikshit, Lord Brahma then began to speak the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the hearing of Prahlad Maharaj, who stood nearby with the folded arms." So this finishes our today's session. So before that, let me summarize what we have seen. In the Navavida Bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam is a starting, and Atma Nivedam is the perfection, which comes by the surrender. What we have to surrender? Mind, body, and words. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. And Bali Maharaj is an epitome who signifies how to surrender in our spirit, how to surrender to the supreme will of the Lord. How Bali Maharaj surrendered entire universe. And even after, that's what Acharyas were saying, Vamana, by association of the devotees, a Vamana or a short person can become a guru also. So we all have to stay in the association of the devotees, cooperate with them, and progress in our spirituality life. And Bali Maharaj gives a third step without any undisturbed mind, because the possessor of the wealth is considered the greater than wealth. Possessor is more important than the possession. Krishna is interested in us, not our wealth. So Bali Maharaj knew why Krishna has come, and he addresses his as Uttama Shloka. He even cheats the beggar, the Devadas, by giving only the Dharma, Artha, Kama, but not the nectar of the lotus feet. So we have, as devotees, we have to seek the nectar of the lotus feet of Krishna. That is what is mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Bali Maharaj, what is the result of the surrender? Ultimate result of the surrender is a devotee can bind Krishna in the ropes of love. That is what we have said. Anything that comes in this way should be neglected, whether it is your husband, whether it is your children, whether it is your parents, whatever it is. If it is coming in the path of surrender, you can neglect. And we understood that Lord's punishment is for spiritual benefit. So whatever is happening in the devotee's life is actually the faster progress to the spiritual journey. So we have to, Lord's mercy comes in the form of chastisement, not only in the form of opulence, but it comes in the form of chastisement. Whether we are put in the awkward situation or not, we have to understand that Krishna is working on us. So Krishna's plan is more important than my individual plan. So we should not be running after this material power and wealth which devatas are running for, but instead we have to follow in the path of Bali Maharaj. We have to see that if our opulence is removed, we are being guided with the knives of knowledge. Om Ajnana Timirandasya. So action item is align our desires with Krishna's desires and Krishna's mercy as even in the form of chastisement. Then we have seen how the futility of this material affairs. What is use of this material body even it doesn't die? So even if it goes. So recently a famous bodybuilder, he was popular for his bodybuilding, good diet. He died at the age of 42 because of the cardiac arrest. So even if you maintain our material body, it is going to go somewhere there, whether you are taking healthy food. Of course, we have to do all those things, but more importantly is the surrender to Krishna. So what is the importance of relatives who are plunder our wealth? What is the importance of the wife? It is in a material conception of way of life. So marriage should be accepted when we are progressing in the spiritual journey. Then we can see how this, how the shelter has come, how the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna has come to the Bali Maharaj, and gratitude. Gratitude is spirituality. Gratitude is not part of spirituality, but it is the spirituality. And we see the description of Prahlad Maharaj. Even Prahlad Maharaj accepted the actions taken by Vamanadeva towards the Bali, because whatever Krishna has given, he has taken it. He has the right to do it, all these things. So whatever Krishna gives, he has the right to take it. So ultimately, we have to surrender to the supreme will of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So with this, I would like to give the session to you, all of you. Any chastisement? Any questions?
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Prabhuji, one thing here I have doubt, Prabhuji. You said that ending point.
Yes.
Gratitude. The
Gratitude.
topic is about the gratitude, even in the material life, also becomes a spirituality, Prabhuji.
First of all, that generally in material world we see gratitude. Of course, as I said, when it is connected to Krishna, that becomes the ultimate surrender. But it is good to have gratitude. So gratitude is at a material level is also pious, and it brings us to the spirituality. That is it. Even that gratitude can be considered.
Gratitude towards Vaishnavas, towards Krishna,
Yes.
it becomes the spirituality. My doubt is,
ultimately it is that.
If anyone is helping us in the material life, if we are showing gratitude, then it will also comes under that or not.
It's a process, still under process, not complete.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Without
much.
gratitude, we cannot progress.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There is no possibility.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any others? So I pray at all for your lotus feet. I have spoken so many big things which I am even trying to follow. I'm not following it, but I take this an opportunity so that one day we all together, individually, we cannot get all these things. It is only the power of association. So let us all pray together that we stay together and go back to Godhead together. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhu. We
Thank
have
you.
a lot of gratitude for you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we are all grateful for the wonderful environment you have created. Yes, Giriraj Prabhu, Dandavas Pranam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Wonderful, Prabhu. So nice. Thank you for your wonderful association. This is the exemplary devotee of Bali Maharaj, right? The Atmanivedana,
Yes.
right?
Atmanivedam is Bali Maharaj is an example of Atmanivedam. Complete surrender of Manasa Vachan.
So nicely going through the purports of Srila Prabhupada and adding some of the examples which you heard in different lectures. And thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for all of you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. Thank you.
Can we end the session? Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ramacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All those to devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad
Thank
pranams.
you.
धन्यवाद